What's the worst case of surgical negligence you've ever heard of? When my sister-in-law, Emily, went in for her scheduled C-section, everything seemed perfectly planned. It was her second baby. She'd had one C-section before, and it went smoothly. She trusted her doctor, someone she'd been seeing for years. That morning, the hospital was bustling. Nurses moved quickly, the anesthesiologist cracked a few jokes, and Emily was in good spirits. She and her husband, Mark, had already chosen the baby's name, Grace. The surgery itself took about 45 minutes. Grace came out crying healthy, beautiful, and perfect. Emily held her for just a moment before they wheeled her into recovery. But within hours, Emily started complaining of sharp stabbing pains in her abdomen. At first, everyone chalked it up to post-surgical discomfort. Totally normal, the nurse reassured her. You just had major surgery. By the next morning, the pain had worsened. She couldn't sit up without gasping. Her abdomen was swollen and tender, but her vitals were stable, so the attending doctor didn't seem concerned. We'll keep an eye on it, he said, scribbling something on her chart before walking out. Over the next 2 days, the pain became unbearable. Emily couldn't hold Grace without wincing. She begged for stronger pain medication, but the staff seemed to treat her as though she was overreacting. On day 3, Mark noticed her skin was turning pale and clammy. He demanded they run more tests. The doctor reluctantly ordered an X-ray, just to rule things out. When the results came back, the room went silent. A surgical glove, yes. An actual glove was inside her abdomen. Not just that, but part of a surgical sponge was wedged near her intestines. Both had been left behind during the C-section. By the time they wheeled her back into the OR to remove them, Emily had developed a severe infection. The surgeon who performed her second operation wasn't the same one from her delivery. As he worked, he muttered under his breath, "I can't believe this happened." The glove and sponge had caused internal inflammation so severe that parts of her abdominal tissue were starting to break down. They had to remove infected tissue and flush her abdomen with antibiotics. Mark later told me the hardest moment was seeing the nurse drop a sealed evidence bag on the counter. Inside was the crumpled glove and blood-soaked sponge that had nearly killed his wife. The original surgeon never came to see her afterward. Instead, a hospital administrator appeared in the room, all smiles, saying they were deeply sorry for the inconvenience and offering a free upgrade to a private suite. Mark nearly threw him out. Emily spent 2 more weeks in the hospital. She missed Grace's first smiles, first bath at home, and those early bonding moments every mother dreams of. Worse, the infection caused scar tissue that will likely prevent her from ever having more children. When they finally went home, Mark filed a formal complaint. The investigation revealed that during the surgery, a nurse had left the glove on the sterile field. The surgeon accidentally pushed it inside while closing, and no one had done a proper surgical count at the end. The hospital settled quickly, no doubt hoping to avoid the publicity. But Emily didn't care about the money. She wanted accountability. "They stole something from me," she told me. "Not just my health, but time I'll never get back with my baby." 6 months later, she's still recovering. She can't lift Grace without feeling a pull in her abdomen. Every time she looks at her C-section scar, she's reminded of the negligence that could have left Grace without a mother. Now, Emily speaks at patient safety seminars. She tells her story not for sympathy, but to drive home one point. Always demand a surgical count. Always speak up if something feels wrong. Because sometimes, the biggest danger in a hospital isn't the illness you came in with, it's the mistake you never see coming.